Hello everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to automate Stripe thank you emails via SendGrid. So I run a business where I want to send thank you emails to my customers after Stripe payment. So here my objective is, as soon as I receive a new payment over the Stripe, I am going to send an email via SendGrid. So for building this integration between Stripe and SendGrid, I am going to use an amazing automation tool, that is Pabbly Connect. So if you also want to build this automation, then let me take you towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video I am going to show you how you can send thank you email via SendGrid for Stripe payments. So right before you on my screen you can see I have integrated two applications, that is Stripe and SendGrid. And now as soon as a new payment will be received over the Stripe, a thank you email will be sent to my customers. So now I am going to show you how you can build this amazing automation for your own business. But before that I am going to show you the real working of this automation. So now let's move on to my checkout page where I am going to make a payment for this Pabbly Connect subscription. So now I am going to fill all these details over here. So here you can see I have filled this checkout page providing email, smartuser@pabblytunes.com, phone number, and here I have provided my card information and the card holder name is Smart User, and here I have provided my billing address, providing my street address, city, state, and its pin code. Now I am going to simply click over this pay button for making the payment, and afterwards we will move to my Gmail account to check whether we are receiving a thank you email over there or not. So here you can see our payment has been successful. Now let's move on to my Gmail account for testing this automation. So here you can see I'm landed to my Gmail account where I'm successfully receiving this email having the subject thank you for your purchase, and here you can see I'm receiving the same name which I have recently entered over my Stripe account while making the payment. So here you can see how amazing our Pabbly Connect is. It is automating my all tasks. And because of Pabbly Connect, I can send personalized emails to my customers. So you can also build this amazing automation for your own business by just using Pabbly Connect. And for accessing the Pabbly Connect, you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/connect. And once you will enter the URL, you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly where you can see two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user, you can simply click over this sign up free, but if you are an existing user, you can simply click over this sign in. And if you sign up your account for free over the Pabbly Connect, you get 100 free tasks every month for practicing Pabbly Connect. But before moving on forward, I am going to tell you about Pabbly Community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly Community where automation users, marketers, and business owners gather to share their ideas, ask questions, and get relevant update regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly Community now and grow your business with us. And if you wish to join the Pabbly Community, you can find link in the description given below. So now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again, and here I am going to simply click over this sign in. And as you finish your sign up, you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page where you can see the products provided by Pabbly. And as we are going to integrate our two applications, that is Stripe and SendGrid, we will be using this app, that is Pabbly Connect, which can integrate different applications and start automating your work. So for automating this task, we have to click over this access now button for accessing Pabbly Connect, and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect, which can be seen here. And on this dashboard page you can see these are the folders I have created, and inside these folders I have created my workflows. So if you also want to create your own folder, you simply have to click over this create a new folder button, and here you have to provide the folder name, and if you want you can select the parent folder as well. And the next you have to click over this create button and your folder will be created. But now I am going to create a workflow. So for that you simply have to click over this create workflow button, and here you will be getting the option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta, which is modern, faster, and more flexible, and another workflow builder we are getting is classic, which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that you simply have to click over this select button, and you will be getting the dialog box where you have to provide the workflow name. So now I am going to provide a name to my workflow here. So here I am providing it the name SendGrid send thank you emails via SendGrid for Stripe payments. And afterwards, I'm going to select my folder as Gmail folder. Now we simply have to click over this create button, and here you can see we are receiving this pop-up which says workflow created successfully, and we are landed to a workflow page where we are getting the option for adding the trigger. So now you might be wondering, what is this trigger? So trigger is our first application, or the application which is going to initiate a workflow. And we can have only one trigger app, but we can have many action application where we have to perform our action. Now I am going to simply click over this add trigger button, and here we will be landed to this trigger setup page where I am going to select my trigger app as Stripe. So now let's type it, and here you can see as I am typing it, I am getting my application. So I am going to select it, and afterwards I am going to select my app event as new charge. Now we simply have to click over this connect button, and here you can see we are receiving this webhook URL with the steps for pasting this webhook URL in my Stripe account. So this is the webhook URL which is going to act as a bridge between Stripe and Pabbly Connect. Now I am going to show you how you can enter this webhook URL to the Stripe account and make the connection. So now let's copy this webhook URL, and now let's move on towards my Stripe account. So here you can see I'm landed to my Stripe account where I'm working on my test mode, but working will be same in the live mode also. And on the sidebar you can see we are getting the option for developers, so you just have to select it, and on this developers we are getting the option for webhook, so you just have to select it, and you will be landed to this webhook page where you have to click over this add destination, and here we have to select our event. So on my charts I'm going to select my event as charge.succeeded, as I want to initiate my Stripe as soon as a new charge is succeeded. Now we simply have to click over this continue button, and here again I'm going to simply click over this continue button, and you will be landed to this page where you have to enter your endpoint URL or the webhook URL which you have recently received from your Pabbly Connect. So now I am going to simply paste the webhook URL which I have recently received, and you can provide the description also. Now we simply have to click over this create destination, and here you can see our webhook has been successfully added to our Stripe account, means our connection is successfully built. And now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect again, and here you can see it is waiting for the webhook response. So for providing the webhook response we have to do the test submission, and for doing the test submission we have to make a new payment over our Stripe. So now let's move on to my Stripe account again, and on the sidebar you can see we are getting the option for payment links. So here you can see we are landed to this page where we are getting some of the payments links. Now let's say I'm going to make the payment for this first item, that is natural glow refreshing face toner. So now I am going to copy the URL, and now let's paste it to the new tab, and here you can see I have pasted this webhook URL, and we are landed to this checkout page where again I am going to fill all these details for making the payment so that we can receive the test data. So now I am going to enter my email as demoUser@pabblyteats.com, and afterwards I am going to provide my payment method as card where I am going to enter my card details. And on my card holder name I have provided the name, that is demo user, and afterwards I am going to enter my billing address. So here I have provided my billing address as 123 Street, and afterwards I have provided my city as Bhopal and the state as Madhya Pradesh and its pin code. Now I am going to simply click over this pay button, and here you can see my payment has been successful. Now let's move on to my Pabbly Connect to check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. So here you can see in my Pabbly Connect I am successfully receiving this response, that is response A, with the same details which I have recently entered over my Stripe account while making the payment. So here you can see the first step of our automation, that is adding the trigger, is working properly. Now let's move on further and add our action step. So for that you simply have to click over this add new action step button, and here I am going to select my action app as SendGrid. So now let's search for the SendGrid, and here you can see as I have searched for it I am getting this application, that is SendGrid. So I am going to select it, and afterwards I am going to select my app event as send an email, as I am going to send an emails to my customers by the help of SendGrid. Now we simply have to click over this connect button, and here we are landed to the SendGrid connection page where if you want to build your new connection you simply have to click over this add new connection button, and if you want to use your existing connection you can also use select existing connection. And as I am going to build a new connection I have selected it, and here we are getting a new connection name, and afterwards it is asking me to paste the token. So for getting the token you can visit this help text which is providing all the necessary steps for getting this API token. So now I'm going to show you how you can get this token. So for that, let's move on to my SendGrid account with me. So here you can see I'm landed to my SendGrid account, where on the sidebar you can see the option of settings, and on the settings you can see the option of API keys. So you just have to select it and you will be landed to this API keys page, where you can see the API keys I have added in my account. Now we simply have to click over this create API key button, and here you have to provide the API key name. So now I am going to provide it the name Stripe key, and here you have to select the API key permission as full access. Now we simply have to click over this create and view, and here you can see we are getting our API token or API key. So now let's copy it and let's move on to my Pabbly Connect for pasting it. And here I'm going to simply enter the token which I have recently received from my SendGrid, and now we just have to click over the save button, and here you can see our connection has been successfully built in. And here we are getting some of the fields. So the first field we are getting is for entering the send to email. So now I'm not going to enter my recipient's email address manually because I'm going to perform mapping. Now you might be thinking, what is this mapping? So mapping is basically inserting the data from the previous tab so that you don't have to enter your values again and again, as mapping makes the field dynamic. So without typing my lead's name, I can automate my all tasks. This is the real magic of our Pabbly Connect. So now I'm going to map the email address of the person to whom I'm going to send this email. So now I'm going to map it from the response which I'm receiving from my Stripe, as Stripe is my previous steps. So the process of mapping is simple. You simply have to select the field which you want to map, and afterwards you have to select the application where you are receiving your data. So here I'm receiving my data in my Stripe, so I'm going to map it from here. And now I'm going to search for the email. So here you can see as I have searched for the email, I'm getting my email, so I'm going to map it, and afterwards we are getting the option for entering the subject. So now I'm going to enter my subject manually. So here you can see I have entered my subject also, and this field will be static, means it is not going to change with every new responses. And afterwards we are getting the option for entering the from email address, and the help text says email address must be associated with your SendGrid account. So for getting this email address, let's move on to my SendGrid account again. So on my SendGrid account, on the sidebar you can see we are getting the option for marketing, so you just have to select it, and the next you have to select this option of senders, and you will be landed to the page from where you can get your from email address. So here you can see I'm landed to this sender management page, where I'm getting my from email address as admin@pabblytunes.com. So now I'm going to copy it and paste it over my Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to paste it over here. So here I have provided my from email address, and afterwards I'm going to enter my from name as Pabbly manually. So I'm going to type it, and this field will be static again. And now we are getting the option for entering the reply to email. So for getting this, let's move on to my SendGrid account again, and here you can see I'm getting this reply to email on that same page from where we were getting our from email address. So now let's paste it over the Pabbly Connect. So here I have pasted my reply to email as well, and the next field we are getting is for selecting the content type, which is already selected as plain text, but you can select HTML as well. And the next field we are getting is for entering the content value. So now I'm going to provide the content value over here. So here you can see I have entered my content value, and after this word hi, again I'm going to map the name of my customer. So now let's search for the name, and here you can see I'm getting the name, so I'm going to map it. So with this we are done with our content value also. Now we simply have to click over the save and send test request, and here you can see we are receiving a positive response, which means we might have built in the connection. So for testing this, let's move on to my Gmail account with me. So here you can see in my Gmail account I am successfully receiving this email having the same subject which we have recently entered over our Pabbly Connect, that is thank you for your purchase. And afterwards here we are getting the same name which I have recently entered over my Stripe while making the payment. So here you can see by the help of Pabbly Connect I can send personalized emails to my customers or the leads. And in this video you have seen that I have built in this automation without even a single word coding, and have automated my all tasks with the help of Pabbly Connect. So what are you waiting for? Start using Pabbly Connect now, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations and integrations like this. And if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe our channel. And if you want to practice this workflow, you can find its link in the description given below. And if you have any doubt, you can post it over the comment section. So thank you for watching this video. Not only this automation, you can build many more integrations like this by just using Pabbly Connect. So if you have any doubt, you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries, you can post it over the forums.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issue, then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Connect for free now.